Can.
So, good morning, everyone. Today we have Dinesh back into our channel. He's going to talk about a very nice and very good topic, that is how to analyze a horoscope. Most of us are astrology students, and we all want to know more about how to analyze a horoscope. So, an experienced person like Dinesh will tell us how to exactly understand the procedure on how to read a horoscope. So, welcome, Dinesh. Welcome to my channel again.
Yeah. Hello. Hi, everyone. Thank you very much, Jayashree, once again for this opportunity. I'm very, it's something that I also actually equally look forward to. Coming on your channel, it has helped me grow a lot also. Like,
That's really
quite a
great.
number of clients. And, I always believe in sharing our ancient knowledge that our rishis had shared with us. So if we are sharing it with others, it's also a great thing, right? Like
That's true.
we keep the knowledge alive.
So, mostly I have seen, we all are into promoting the tradition.
Yeah.
Without any expectation of profits or gains or.
Definitely, like to me it's like a great gift from our venerable sages.
That's
but
true.
In today's world, people are very busy with their own lives, with their own different careers. So astrology maybe has the significance has dropped a lot compared to our olden days. Like in the past, my grandmother, they were very into astrology. They made sure that they checked everything. They checked for auspicious muhurta before doing a very simple activity. But today nobody does that. I've seen people even not even looking into auspicious muhurtas during weddings. So because they want to choose a particular date, which is favorable to them, they just go with the flow and then they don't check on muhurtas. But it's something that our ancient sages gave to us a great knowledge, and I think we all ought to make use of it. Okay. So let's begin. Let me share my screen first. So, of course, today the topic is more of how do I analyze a horoscope? Okay. But of course, we can't go through everything, every single bit of it. But maybe we can just touch a bit on for basics, So for anybody who is into astrology, starting off, maybe you can, try to analyze your own personal horoscope, how it's done. So this is the basically this is the Rashi chart. So what I've done is I have like placed all the different important details of a Rashi chart. Okay, so what is very important here that I would like to explain is before you go into placing the ascendant and the planets in a particular position. So as of now, it's just I have planets placed in their own signs, except for Saturn and Jupiter here, but they belong. So Jupiter owns Pisces, and Jupiter also owns Sagittarius, Dhanusha, right? So Mars owns Aries, Venus owns Taurus, and we have so and so forth. Okay, so this is the planetary ownership. So we also need to write down, like, this is my own notes. Okay, so I think everybody can take note of this, and then they can make this chart on their own. Okay, I use the South Indian chart. So I have Aries, Mesham. Okay, it's a movable sign. Okay, it's actually an odd sign. It's known as an odd sign. Rishabham is like a fixed female earthy sign. It's an even sign, so it's plus minus plus minus. Okay, so on and so forth. Okay, and then I also have written like Mars being its Mula Trikona falls here. The Sun exaltation 10 degrees. So what I've written in number is actually the degrees. Okay.
Degrees.
So yeah. So Moon is exalted 0 to 3. Moon's Mula Trikona. The rest of the sign falls 3 to 27 degrees. So same thing. Miduna is a barren sign. So I've also written barren sign. So why is barren so important? For example, somebody who has difficulty in having a child, when their fifth house is placed in the barren signs, then they will have like difficulties. Okay. Maybe you can also go into the Saptamsha. Saptamsha is D7 chart.
Yes.
Okay. That also gives you some information of the child birth. Or sometimes you can look at this thing known as Bija Spudam and Shestra Spudam. The egg point and the sperm point and the egg point.
Mm.
Okay, then for that you have to look at where is it placed in the barren sign, is it placed in if it's placed in the barren sign, then it becomes more difficult to bear a child. Okay, so all these Shastra Spuda, Bija Spuda, there's a calculation to it. It's quite complicated, but with the use of softwares, almost every software gives you these details. Okay, so that's where these barren signs come into place. Okay, then you have twin body. So there's only 3 signs that is considered twin body. One is Gemini, Dhanusha. Some people consider the first 50% of Dhanusha is twin body. Okay, and then you have Meenam, Pisces, which is also known as twin body. Okay, so what is the purpose of twin body? Sometimes we use that in some people, when their 7th house falls in the sign of a twin bodied sign, or sometimes the 7th lord falls in the twin bodied signs, then it can indicate dual marriages, that kind of thing. So it's anything double, anything that might repeat itself. Okay, so, and sometimes it can indicate second marriage.
Yes.
So that's why we use twin body. Then we have fertile signs. So again, Kadagam is a movable, watery, fertile sign. So fertile signs is actually signs where if your Bija Spudam, Shastra Spudam, your 5th house, everything placed in the fertile sign, then less likely you have the problem of having a child. You will more likely you'll be blessed with a child. Okay, then again you have Mula Trikona of Sun. So on and so forth. Okay, then you have the different movable, fixed. All these things. So movable, people who have a lot of planets in the movable signs, or people who have the 10th lord falling on the movable, the Lagna lord falling on the movable, they will always be on the move generally. You look at such a horoscope where someone who has his 10th lord in a movable sign and his Lagna lord in a movable sign, he will always be he likes to move. He cannot sit and work in a one place. So in
and that also shows, and at the same time it can also show like the person will have difficulty in settling down in life.
Maybe. So quite an active lifestyle. So for myself, my Lagna lord and my 10th lord both are in my movable signs. So when I went for an interview, my first question will be, or before I get a job, my first question will it be a job where it's desk bound? If it is desk bound, then I don't want to do it. I can't sit in one place and do a job, kind of thing. I need to be moving a little bit.
Yes. So, then my Lagna is also a movable sign. I don't like, it's
repetitive job. We don't really like the repetitive job.
Yes.
Okay. So that's how you associate, the planetary positions and what's happening in your life. Okay. Then you have Makara. Makara is like a movable, so it repeats itself. So you try to form, as much information you can place on a sign, we can place it.
Yes.
Okay. So the next thing that you need to understand is, now we come to the planetary positions. So say we have someone with a Cancer ascendant. Okay. So then you can roughly, so then we know the planetary ownership. So the first house is owned by Moon. Second house is owned by the Sun. Third house is Mercury. Fourth is Venus. Fifth is Mars. So on and so forth. So on and so forth. Okay. So then this is the Rashi chart. Okay, you form the Rashi chart already. Okay, so you place the date of birth, name, dasha balance at birth to know what's going to happen in life, like the unfolding of events. Okay, it's based on the dasha scheme. Okay. And okay, so from the Rashi chart, people actually derive the Bhava chart. Okay, there are many systems, so I use the equal house system.
Equal house.
Yeah, equal house system. So that means, say example, my ascendant. So let me maybe change this to ascendant. Okay, ascendant 15 degrees. So always it's very, 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 very important to place the degrees beside each of the ascendant, beside the grahas, everything you place the degrees. extremely important.
That's
Okay.
true. That's true. Degrees.
Okay, the sun. Okay, for example, the sun. Say someone has sun exalted. Let me shift this. Okay, say someone has the sun exalted. Okay, say at the sun being at 20 degrees. Okay, is different from the sun being at 10 degrees.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, why the sun at 10 degrees is deep exaltation.
Exaltation.
Okay, the sun at say 29 degrees is further away from exaltation.
Yes, it's on sign. It's in the on sign.
Yeah, so you have to take note of all these things before you come to a conclusion. Okay, so it's very important to write the degrees again. Okay, say the sun is here 29 degrees. Say Venus, okay, it's in this sign. For example, Venus is at 1 degree.
Okay.
Say Venus is at 1 degree. Okay, and then say Mercury is in this sign.
Okay.
See, even then I'm actually making sure that Sun, Mercury, Venus are just one signs away. This is also important in astrology. If ever you see a horoscope, say Mercury is placed here, then you know that the horoscope is wrong. Why?
Yes.
Because the Sun,
Because
Mercury, Venus cannot be too far
they
away.
have to be together, or three houses apart.
Yes, correct.
Unless until they, any of the planet is in retrogression, Mercury or Venus is in retrogression.
Yeah, even then it will not go more than
Go beyond,
like 3 signs. You know, you can't have that. You know, Mercury. In fact, Mercury can't be like 2 signs away from the Sun. Okay, so that is something that we all have to know. Okay, and then say Mercury is at 20, for example, 29 degrees. Okay, for example. Okay, so what's happening here? Anyone without the degrees will think that who is conjunct. What is conjunction in astrology? Any planet nearby one another in the same sign is usually known as conjunction. So people will say Mercury is conjunct Venus. Correct. But what they don't understand is actually Sun is conjunct Venus. Because Sun is extremely close. It's only 2 degrees away from Venus. Whereas Mercury is actually 29 degrees in this sign.
Yes.
So these are certain things that people make mistakes. So you need to know who is conjunct. No, because conjunction is a very important
that's true
subject in astrology. Okay, so when I look at a horoscope, I make sure I will. So I have this page printed. Okay, I have this page printed, and I will write down. I will manually write down with my hands. When I look at a horoscope, I manually write down all these degrees, their conjunction. In fact, I write it something like that. I write like Sun. I'll put like first one. It's because it's the first house owner placed in say example 10th house. Okay, I will write the nakshatra that the Sun is placed in.
That's also very important.
Yeah, so in this case, if Sun is 29 degrees, is Kartika nakshatra. Nakshatra. I will also write who's the owner of Kritika. I write
Sun
as
itself,
much information.
Sun
yeah, so Sun itself is the owner. Then I write a superscript, of Sun. Where is it in the horoscope? So it's in the 10th. So I write as many information as possible. So that's why.
1 minute, Dinesh. Since we are talking about the conjunction degrees and all, let me ask you. This is a very common question from my audiences that they ask me. If the planet is in the nth degrees of one, for example, Sun is in 29 degrees and being 29 degrees of Aries, and Venus is in the first degree of Taurus. So let me tell you, my audiences, that is a pure combustion. So can you please throw some light on this combustion when planet Sun is in the late degree and another planet is in the early degree of the corresponding adjacent sign?
Okay, so combustion, right? Actually, Parashara in his text has given a very clear degrees. He's given a table. When they're how close they are combust. Okay, so I don't have my diary here. It's there, but it's basically any planets that comes very close to the Sun, right? They combust. They get combusted. So their effects is there's a problem with their effects. So for
That's
example,
right.
in this example, actually Venus is very close to the sun, correct?
Mm.
So actually the fourth lord, which is Venus, and the 11th lord,
Mm.
which is Venus again, is actually combust.
Mm.
So these
Yeah.
matters are afflicted. You can consider
Yeah,
them
that's
as
true.
afflicted. Okay. So you have to take that into consideration. Okay.
Mm.
But I always also take into another important consideration that if you see many horoscopes, right, like Mercury and
Mm.
Venus might be combust.
Mm.
Okay. So then again, you need to look. My Guruji always used to tell me, always look out for what is very rare in astrology.
That's true. You have
Okay.
already told me.
So if say Jupiter is combust
Mm.
compared to Venus being combust or Mercury being combust, because Venus and Mercury is always very close to the sun
That's true.
compared to Jupiter. So the Jupiter combustion should be given more importance
Mm-hmm.
because that's more rare, right? Compared to Mercury,
Mm.
Venus being combust. Because in many horoscopes, Mercury and Venus are usually combust
Mm.
because they are very close to the sun. So that is something very important that we need to consider. So if Jupiter is combust, say Jupiter is also at 29 degrees, that means there's a
Mm.
serious affliction to Jupiter, the matters relating to
That's true.
Jupiter. Okay, so the
Mm.
ninth house is Jupiter. Ninth house reflects religion, father, and all these things. So something along that line could be afflicted. Okay,
Mm.
the sixth house, the house of debts, diseases, enemies. So
Mm.
that affliction can happen. Sixth house is also
Mm.
known as maternal uncle. So maybe
Maternal it is,
maternal
yes.
uncle maybe giving some problems.
Mm.
All these things has to be taken into consideration. Okay, so sometimes say Mercury is the sixth lord owner. Mercury is actually also maternal uncle in some text.
Yes.
Planets under
Yes. Yes.
Karaka Tattva, Mercury. So then that increases. Being the sixth
Mm.
house, for example, in
That's.
someone's horoscope, Mercury is the sixth lord, and again
Mm.
Mercury is very close to the sun. So a double confirmation that maternal uncle could be a problem to this particular
Yeah.
person. So
Mm.
so so that's how you analyze a horoscope. Okay. Yeah, so combustion has many degrees to it. There's a range. Parashara has particularly given this particular planet at this degree will be combust, that kind of thing. Okay, so we have to
Mm.
take that into consideration. But generally,
Okay.
how I look at it is anything that is within 7 degrees, it's considered uh, deep combustion.
Combustion.
Highly combust.
Mm.
Planets that are almost like on the same angular degree. Say Venus was at 29 degrees.
Mm.
Sun at 29 degrees, it's known as rapt conjunction, or
Venus
rapt
is
conjunction
Venus is totally gone
combust.
out of the.
So it's so then that kind of horoscope you need to give more importance to what's happening with Venus, the areas of Venus. Okay.
Mm.
Coming back here. Okay. So this is an example. Then okay, so each lagna has a particular meaning. Okay,
Yes.
each ascendant, I mean each lord has a particular meaning. So you have to understand. So I always have these notes. This is my own notes.
Mm.
Okay, so I always know, like, first house, what does it mean? Your physique, your appearance, your weakness, your health, your happiness, anything that is me, myself, my health, my brain. Second house is your house of face. Your what is yours. So your first house is me, myself. Second house is what's mine, my wants. Your wealth is a one, your food is a one. You without food, you won't be
That's true.
living. Your family. Second house is Maragasthanam, your metals, your precious stones, your eyes, your assets, your learning, your speech, the longevity of spouse. It's considered.
Oh, second house, eighth house is around longevity.
Yeah,
Second house is the longevity of spouse. Okay.
yeah. So actually, eighth house is also considered the longevity of marriage. Okay, actually, eighth house should be
Here in Kerala, there is a custom that they check. I don't know whether you also do that. They check eighth house, seventh and eighth house for the marriage.
Correct. Definitely. In fact, why? For example, you have somebody who has Mangalya dosham. No, sorry, Sabba dosham, Sabbai dosham, Sabba dosh, not Mangalya dosh, Sabba dosh. So
Manglik dosha.
yeah, so that's caused by Mars. Why? Because whenever Mars is placed in the 7th, 8th, second house, it's all considered, Sabha dosha. Marriage, there's a dosha, and then they'll tell you, you have to find somebody with Mars accordingly in the same. So it's basically 1, 2, 4, 7, 8, and 12.
Yeah.
So whenever Mars is placed,
actually, in the north, the second house is not considered as a Manglik dosh. In south, second house is also included.
So why second house is included? Because any planet sitting in the second, Mars sitting in the second, is aspecting the 8th house.
8th house.
Yeah.
Hrithik Roshan has second Mars in the second house.
Yeah. How is his marriage life?
He is a divorced guy.
So, but of course, you can't, 100% say that.
That's true.
You need to analyze the entire horoscope. Then you need to look at where's the 7th lord. If the 7th lord is also placed, in some trick sthanas, 6, 8, and 12, then there's an issue. So something like that. So the third house, the house of arms, shoulders, your servants, your younger brothers, your siblings, your short distance traveling, and all these things. So fourth house is your comforts. So the third house is the house of help, the house of help. So whoever gives you help, your brothers, your servants, they're your siblings, they're your help. So that kind of thing. Your efforts comes under your third house. Your fourth house is your house of mother, your comforts, your land, your school. School not really. Okay, sorry. Your land, your mother, your peace of mind.
Your basic education. Fourth house is actually basic education.
Yes, correct. So that is, some people look at different house basis. So 9th house, like they consider it as higher education.
Higher education.
Yeah. So that kind of thing. So 4th house is the house of all these things. Then the 5th house, the house of Purva Punya, your children. Okay, comes under 5th house. Your royalty, your knowledge, that kind of thing. So 5th house, example, 5th lord in the 12th, children will go for it.
Yes,
5th lord in the 8th house, the house of disappointment. So everything you need to write down. So 6th house is the house of debts, diseases, enemies. Okay, your pets. So all these are some examples. So 7th house is the house of Kalastrasthana, your wedding, your business partner, your married life. 8th house is your house of kidney, large intestine, your longevity, your disappointments, your accidents. All these things comes under 8th house.
Humiliations.
Mangalya Sthana, occult science, astrology.
Occult, yes.
So in my
horoscope, 8th house is known as the dark house. So the hidden, like which is very much hidden things, like hidden knowledge is also
correct. So for example, in my horoscope, my 8th house is aspected by my 8th lord. So probably that's why I'm interested in astrology. I like astrology so much, like that kind of thing.
My eighth lord is horrifyingly placed. I'll tell you later which house it is.
Yeah. So for example, when somebody asks me, will I have occult knowledge? Can I do occult science? Can I be a tarot reader? Can I be like astrologer? So immediately you look at the 8th house. So
8th house,
the same thing. Everybody has to look at. So somebody who says, I have a problem with my marriage, then you look at their where's their 7th lord, what's happening in their 7th house. So it's the same thing,
in between, I would like to say one thing. Other day, I had a consultation, Dinesh. This chart is actually a chart. Every house is connected with the 8th house. Through placement, aspect, and conjunction, every house is connected with the 8th house. Then the person has a lot of relationship issues and all. I told that person, you leave all that thing, you focus on occult, you will be getting the success. I have never seen such a chart. Every house is somehow connecting to the 8th house.
So the kind of things you will start seeing in a horoscope, So so it's very important. Okay, what is the meaning? Why are we looking? So say somebody comes with a problem with children, then you immediately look at the 5th house. What's happening at the 5th house? Where is the 5th lord place? So again, you will give remedies accordingly. So example, 5th lord in the 12th house, My Gurunather always says, fifth lord, 12th house, ask them immediately go and do donations in the in the ashram, the child ashram.
Fifth in the third house.
Fifth in the 12th.
12th. Okay.
Fifth in the 12th. Immediately ask them to go and do some donations.
Okay.
You understand? So these are certain things that we all should take note of. Okay, so your remedies should be connected to where the problem is. So example, 7th lord placed in the 12th house. Okay, 7th lord placed in the 12th house. You immediately tell the person to donate for weddings, donate for wedding halls. You can donate in any forms to a person who's getting married. You say, I'll sponsor your tali. I'll sponsor your. You can do a lot of things.
That's true.
That's your remedies to rectify, what you have brought from your past lives. Okay.
This past life karma is such a very complicated thing. When we study astrology deeply, we'll come to know that whatever we suffer in this life has a connection with the past life.
Definitely. Okay, then the 9th house, the house of father, religion, teacher, it's your guide. Okay, your father is a great guide. Your teacher is a great guide. Your guru, your higher education, your pilgrimage, your religion, your 10th house, your karma bhava, why your purpose on earth. Okay, so when somebody is talking about profession, we immediately look at the 10th house. What's happening in the 10th house. So the 11th house, the house of fulfillment. Okay, your gains, your income, your elder brother, your siblings, Okay, and then your 12th house, the house of laws, hospital, foreign lands, and all this. So this must be memorized. This, like, everything here should be memorized in your mind. If somebody talks to me about ENT, then it will come to me of the third house, actually.
Third house.
Actually, here I've written the second house, but actually it's here. It's supposed to be in the third house.
Third house.
Ear, nose, and throat. Okay, you see, you have it here. Okay, computer.
Are you flipping this PowerPoint? But I can only see the main chart.
Oh.
Again, Mercury retrogression is active.
Yeah.
So that's okay.
Yeah. So are you able to see now?
Yeah. Now I'm able to see.
Okay. So the first house, so everything here, I already went through. I was actually looking at all these things. Ken?
Yes.
So this is something that is very important. The 12th house, laws, hospital, all these things are here. Okay. So if somebody wants, you can just take note of all these things. We can pause the video to.
Dinesh, can you please give a few? Can you tell little more about the Marakasthana? How to understand Marakasthana?
Say somebody is going through like a death-like experience, hospitalized, very serious condition. Then I look at what is their dasha antardasha. So in every horoscope, there's something known as planetary period, dasha antardasha, that will play a part. Okay, so if you are going through the 7th lord antardasha, then it's bad for your health. High stress period. Marakasthana is not always known as death. It's actually high stress. Somebody who is going through a Marakasthana dasha, Maraka dasha, will go through a high stress generally. It's a high stress period.
It is.
So 2nd house and the 7th house is actually the Marakasthana. Okay. And it's actually connected to dasha antardasha generally. Okay, the pre-planetary period. Okay. Then, so coming back, are you able to see my slides?
Right now, I can see that birth chart.
Yeah, now back to horoscope. Yeah, the first chart. Okay. So then you need to start connecting. So how do you connect? Say 2nd lord, the sun, is placed in the 11th house. Okay. Say he's placed at 20 degrees. Okay. Then so let's move Venus and Mercury out. Okay. Second lord placed in the 11th house. So you can say that wealth becomes your income. Okay, it's a Dana Yoga. So second in the 11th is a form of a Dana Yoga. So that's a connection. Next thing, what happens if the sun is in 15 degrees? It's known as Bhava Madhya.
Yes.
So more likely that the results will be more prominent. The second house and the 11th house results will be more prominent. So that's very important. Okay. Say sun in 29 degrees, then it's less prominent. You know, so you can form a percentage. So 15 degrees means it's almost what 100%. It should happen. Okay. If it is more in say 29 degrees, less likely. The percentage decrease. Okay. Up till 30 degrees. Why? Because the ascendant is at 15 degrees. So I'm using the equal house system.
Okay.
So the moment, say, okay, so the moment, say, let's put ascendant at 10 degrees. The sun is 29 degrees. Okay, so what's going to happen to the sun? In the Bhava chart, the sun will move to the 12th house. Right. So why? Equal house system takes ascendant 10 degrees, you plus minus 15 degrees to it.
Okay.
So up till 25 degrees of the sign, the sun will fall in the same house in the Bhava chart. But if it is more than 25 degrees, say 26 degrees onwards, it will move one sign away.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's your Bhava chart. That's how your equal house system is. So, so there's a lot of different systems of equal house. You know.
Yes. Nirayana Bhava Jali.
Bhava chart differs for many people. You know, many people have different forms of Bhava.
Tripadi Bhava.
Tripadi Bhava, yes, correct. You know, there is slightly unequal house systems. So it depends on what you use. Can okay. Then the next thing is okay. The next thing is we need to connect. So second lord in the 11th. So I immediately come to this chart. Are you able to see my Word document now?
Yes, I can see.
So I will connect my like wealth, food, family, connecting to the 11th house, the house of income, gains, fulfillment, and everything.
Okay.
Yep. So that's how you do the connection. So say 7th lord in the 11th. So who is the 7th lord? For a Cancer ascendant, 7th lord is Saturn. Say Saturn placed in here in this sign. Okay. So it's good.
Okay.
Then okay, so this is the connection. Okay, but then of course Saturn and Sun, they are enemies. So when you place here together, so imagine for a Cancer ascendant, Saturn placed alone here. It's very good.
That's
Why?
true. That's true.
Because Saturn is Venus's friend.
Yes.
And Saturn are friends.
Taurus.
So, yeah. Then you need to look at planetary friendship table. Do I have it here? I don't have it here, but
yeah, it's okay.
So wait, let me.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I'll just show you. Are you able to see my? Are you able to see my Excel file?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the
planetary friendship table.
Friendship.
Yes.
So this you need to memorize also. If you can't memorize, there is a method actually.
Please tell me what
from the Mula Trikona of the.
Okay.
2, 12, 4, 8, 5, 9.
Yes.
Your friends. So that's a method. So that we leave it to another session. But with that you can memorize the entire table. Okay. So I for me, because you're practicing it very often, so it's become second nature. Who's friends.
Once we start practicing it, it will become very easy for us.
So for example, the sun hates Venus. So that's another problem. And I was saying the sun placed in, where's the sun? Yeah, it's the sun placed in Venus's, sorry. The sun placed in Venus's chart, it's actually bad. Because sun dislikes to be in Venus's sign.
Yes.
Of course, sun placed here is better. So that kind of thing. So your wealth connected to your career. Your wealth connected to income. So this could be something like second lord in the 11th is an indication for stock market, investing in the stock market.
Okay.
Investing, because your wealth becomes your gains. How does anybody
Okay,
make money through stock market? Is because their wealth, what they invested, what they put
okay.
in their wealth, became their income
Okay.
at a certain point.
Yes, yes.
So,
But depends upon the placement aspect and conjunction.
yes, of course, of course.
Because
Okay.
I have a lot of viewers who are interested in stock market,
Okay.
share trading and all.
So Sun Saturn combination, it's bad. Like,
Yeah.
so then there's a problem again. There's some form of a bit of unhappiness. So a planet alone in a sign, very happy, it's very good. Okay, home alone, that kind of thing. Planet alone. Whatever,
It can be.
if you want to make a prediction in someone's horoscope, look for individual planets in a particular house.
Okay.
Okay, individual planets in a particular house, then you can make this issue will definitely happen there, that kind of thing.
Okay.
7th lord in the 11th. But then again, astrology, you can go deeper and deeper. Okay, so say 7th lord in the 11th, very good. Then what do you need to
Yes.
look at? The next thing you need to immediately open up is the Navamsha. You understand? So of
Yes,
course,
yes.
this is just an example. I'm just opening up a current now Singapore, what's happening, what's the planetary, because I'm in
Okay.
Singapore. But then you need to look at the Navamsha, where is Saturn? So in case this is the horoscope, the 7th lord, Saturn is actually debilitated here.
Debilitated. No. Yes. Debilitated.
Okay, though that's a problem with it. You can't say that, marriage is going to be very good for that person.
Yeah.
Example. But if say Saturn was in its own sign, maybe in Mula Trikona or maybe deep exalted, then you can say it's very good. Then you also need to look from the Lagna, where is it placed in the Navamsha itself. So Navamsha has to be separately studied. Okay. So PVR Narasimha Rao, the founder of Jagannatha Hora, he was saying, study the Varga charts first before you make a prediction from the. So Varga is more prominent, more important.
I see.
So for me, I will always look at the Dashamsha to look at what is happening in the career life. Very often the Dashamsha has given me very important details, like what kind of career that person will be doing. So that's so Varga chart.
My Dashamsha chart is very, very prominent, and it's very easy to say who I am. And then someone look in personal life also, it's very easy to say when someone look at my Dashamsha chart. And one more thing I would like to say, I also check Shashtyamsha chart for everything. Do you have any comment on that?
Yeah,
Whatever it is,
we have to look at everything. I look at all the Varga charts. So I've opened. So this is the software that I'm using. So I'm actually looking at Dwadamsha, Saptamsha,
okay.
D for Dashamsha. These are the important Parashari aspects. I look at that. I look at the Shadbala. The table is here. But
it's really fun to play with these charts.
Yeah. So I
go really enjoy it.
To the details of Shadbala. You don't need to know how to calculate it, because it's again another huge, for a lot of calculations to be done. But at least you know how it's done. You read it once or twice, you understand. Then okay, then automatically the computer software actually calculates for you. You have this Shodasha Varga. Okay, from this you have the Vimsho Pakabala. So I look at all,
is also very useful.
very important, very, very important. So you look at everything. So a lot of people don't do this. That's why it's important when you visit an astrologer, make sure the astrologer reads your chart prior to the consultation. If he is not doing that, then the accuracy of your readings will drop. Okay.
And Dinesh, last one more thing, I would like to know, how do you see Ashtag Varga? For me, I don't trust that chart much, because in my personal horoscope, it doesn't work. Ashtag Varga, do you have any comment on? Because so many people are asking about Ashtag Varga also.
Okay. So first thing first, let me look for Sarvashtaga Varga. Okay. Actually, I have another software that I open up my Sarvashtaka Varga. So Sarvashtaka Varga is very important. So for example, let me just. So this is a very good
software.
Yeah.
The Sarvashtaka Varga.
Yeah. So this is your Sarvashtaka Varga at the time. Okay.
Okay.
So anything. So I will look at the points. Okay. So the Lagna having high points is good. Okay. So Anil, our teacher in Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, Anil sir. Okay. He always he used to say it should be in increasing order. So ninth.
Oh, okay. That is a nice point. When he told you this, I was not there in the class.
Yeah. When I was attending his class, he said that. So, for example, 11th houses Sarvashtaka Varga, the total points collated by all the grahas known as the bindus. Okay. If it is higher than the 10th, what does that mean? You don't need to work so hard to get your income. You know.
Okay. If the Ashtaka Varga, the Sarvashtaka Varga point in the 10th house is high.
No, lower than your Sarvashtaka Varga points in your 11th house of gains. If it's lower, then it's good.
I didn't get you, I didn't get you. Please tell again.
Okay. So the average point is 28 points. Okay. About 28, 27 points is average. Okay. So 10th house should be higher than 28. So say 30, 31, it's good. Okay. 33 is good. In this case, now it's good. Okay. Then your 11th house should be higher than the 10th. So 33, 34.
Okay.
It's very good. Why? Because then what does that show? You don't have to work so hard because your karma is your 10th house, your 11th house is your 8th. So if your karma is...
I remember when he said that. I remember.
Yeah, now you remember, right? So all this is important. So anything lower than 28 is bad. So sometimes I've seen 18, that kind of thing. Like it's extremely low. So then that particular house is a problem. Okay. So my Gurunatha, he was telling that. So what should be the lower ones? The 12th house should be lower ones.
Yeah.
The 6th, 8th, 12th, which is your the bad houses. Dushtasthana
should be lesser point.
Yeah, if they are lower, then it's okay. Okay. So the kind
I saw a chart with 45 points in 6th house.
Yeah, then you see.
And his dasha is running now.
Yeah. So is he having any health conditions?
I don't. So far, no. But his 6th lord is Saturn, and after 2 years, his 7.5 Saturn is also going to come. So I told him to be very careful about everything, court cases, his deaths, disease, everything. I told him court cases will be there. So please don't get into any kind of legal disputes.
So that is Sarvashtaka Varga. Then after that, you need to look at
Binashtaka Varga.
Ashtaka Varga, Binashtaka Varga. Binashtaka Varga is this. So I always look at Saturn and Jupiter.
Saturn and Jupiter.
Yep. So you can you see?
That's true.
You're able to see my screen, right? My horoscope screen, right? Yeah. Are you seeing this Sri Jyosti star? You're able to see my Ashtaka Varga, right?
I can see the Binashtaka Varga chart.
Yeah, correct. So just now I showed you the Sarvashtaka Varga. You saw that, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so the Binashtaka Varga, then I look at Saturn, when they are lower than 3, then it's a problem. Say somebody who is going through Sadesati. Okay, Sadesati, and their Sarvashtaka Varga is also low. Their Binashtaka Varga, so Saturn's Binashtaka Varga is also low, then it's a big problem. Sometimes I look at the transits. And then I look at, where is the planets placed during the transit. So for example, Saturn is right now here in Capricorn. So if this particular person born today in Singapore having 2 points. So usually it is mentioned that this person's Sadesati will be very challenging. That kind of thing. Okay. So this is how. Then also Binashtaka Varga, I look at, say Jupiter. So say, for example, So Jupiter is now debilitated. Huh?
Yes, it is in debilitation conjunction with Saturn.
Yeah. So it's a Nicha Banga.
No.
Nicha Banga.
But still, both the planets are in a retrogression. That Nicha Banga is not very.
Yeah, they say
solid also,
retrogression
that's
is a bit more of stumble, so it's not good.
Hmm.
Then you look at, okay, at the natal Jupiter, what is the Vinashtaka Varga? If it is like 6, 7, then it's good. The planet is also strong. So that also needs to be taken into consideration. There's a lot of things that we are looking at when it comes to astrology.
Dinesh, why? I'll tell you one thing. In my Sarvashtak Varga, my 9th house is so weak. But in my actual life, my 9th house is very strong.
That's when, maybe, so then you have to ask, how's your relationship with your father? That kind of thing. So you understand that part can be very strong, but if it's indicating some weakness, something along that house signification should be afflicted.
With my both parents, I don't have a good relationship.
Yeah, so that
and
kind of thing.
I used to be very much worried about that, but I don't care about that because that's my destiny.
So these are questions that actually I was not expecting you to reveal this thing to the audience, but
I already revealed them. They already know it.
Yeah. So for me, it's more of like, so you see, when I'm asking you this question, then you say there's a weakness. So that is actually brought from your Sarvashtakal. So astrology is like many permutations and combinations that we are looking out for. Okay. Okay. So now let's go back to our topic. So are you able to see my PowerPoint slide? Okay.
I can see the birth chart.
Yeah, PowerPoint slide.
The PowerPoints are on the left side. Are small blocks.
Yeah, but you're seeing the birth chart, right? So then next thing you need to look at how to analyze the horoscope. Okay. So your ascendant lord, where is it placed? Is it in a movable sign, fixed sign? Movable people are very dynamic. Ascendant in a movable sign, they are very dynamic. Yes. A lot of businessmen, CEOs, they have a very movable ascendant. Their 10th lord is in movable because they can't stay still. They want to do something. They want to do this, do that. Kind of thing. Then the ascendant lord's position from the lagna, that has to be analyzed. The position of planets from their lordship. Okay, so this is something very important in astrology. Okay. That's true. Yeah. So for example, the 7th lord, Saturn, placed in the 6th is from the ascendant. 7th lord in the 6th is no good. Correct. Okay. So say example, Saturn is in the 6th, but this is also the what? 7th house. Correct. Okay. Capricorn is the 7th house. So from the 7th, Saturn is placed in the 12th. So that's bad also. That's bad also. So that's how you analyze. Okay. So for example, Venus, the 3rd lord. Okay. Sorry, Venus is the 4th lord. It's placed in the 3rd house. It's debilitated. Correct. Venus is debilitated here. Right. And from the 4th, it's placed in the 12th. So that is also a problem. Okay. So there are many things that you need to. So something is happening. Okay. So that's something that we need to look at. So that's the position of the planets from the lordship that I was talking about. So ascendant lord's position from the lagna. That one I already told you. So say for example, 7th lord Saturn sitting in the 6th house from the ascendant. Okay, then Kendra to ascendant, Trikona to ascendant, planets in trick house. So what I'm trying to say here is whether the planet is placed in where. So generally planets placed in 1, 4, 7, 10 is Kendra is good. Planets placed in Trikona is good. 1, 5, 9 is good. In the trick houses, that means the Dushtasthana 6, 8, and 12 is bad. All these things you need to take into consideration. Okay. Yeah, these are things. Okay, then that generally they say that benefics in the Kendra is better compared to malefics in Kendra. Okay. Sorry. Benefics in Trikona is better. Benefics in Trikona. Okay. Benefics do better because they are already benefics, right? So they do better in Trikona. Then the malefics in Kendra. Kendra is more of hard work. That's true.
That's true. When benefics are in Kendra, the person is actually weak.
Benefics in Kendra is bad.
Kendra.
Generally, it's
Benefics
considered. I think even in Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, they taught this. Taught this to us. Okay. Malefics in Kendra. Why? Because Trikona is known as Lakshmi Sthanas. Kendras are known as Vishnu Sthanas. So Vishnu is the hardworking person, the preserver. Correct? He's working. Lakshmi is like that. No, I'm Mahalakshmi. Money will come to me. So benefics are like connected to Mahalakshmi. So money will automatically drop. So you want to place the benefics in Trikona compared to Kendra Sthanas. But
the feminine energy will not be able to manage the malefic power.
Yes.
It needs a male energy to.
Yeah, you are saying something.
What I said is that trikons are known as Lakshmi Sthana, so the feminine energy will be able to deal with the benefic planets, while the Kendra houses are known as Vishnu Sthana, so it is a male energy. So malefics will be good with male energy. The male energy can handle malefics better.
Yes, correct. And so yeah, that's something that's very important. So I spoke about Trikona Dushta Sthanas. So that connection is also important. Okay, so whenever Kendras, so 1, 4, 7, 10, the houses connected to Trikonas 1, 5, 9, it's known as Raja Yoga.
Yeah, that's true.
That's very good also. Okay, the planets. So example, the 4th lord in the 9th, it's good, that kind of thing. Okay, but in this case, of course, it's not good. It's good because Venus is exalted here. That kind of thing. Okay. So that can be taken into consideration. What else? Did I miss out anything? Okay, no. Okay, then you look for exalted planets. So I already said. Then whether these exalted planets, so example, somebody has the 5th lord exalted. Then you need to look at the Saptamsha. Why 5th house is the house of children? Saptamsha is the house, D7 is the house of children. Okay. Again, the same planet, it's exalted, then it's very good. That kind of thing. Okay. Oh, in Navamsha, the 7th lord exalted. In Navamsha, it's also exalted, means very good. You understand? It's like exalted.
Understood.
It's also Vargotam then, because the same planet placed in the sign of exaltation. So then we need to check for debilitated planets. So once again, okay, check for debilitated planets. They are weak. Planets in Mula Trikona, it's good. Planets in combustion, it's bad. Like I already explained. Planets in retrograde, usually retrogression is there's a lot of things to look at. Okay,
that's true. So we need to do a separate video on retrogression.
So example, Saturn placed here retrograde, maybe in 20 degrees. Then it could be meaning that it's going towards the first 15 degrees. So example, Saturn is retrograde. Okay, it means that Saturn in 20 degrees, but it's retrograde. It's going to, I want to go towards the, dual bodied sign, the twin bodied sign, 50%. So it means that I want to go towards, divorce. Now I want to give you a second marriage. So yeah, for example, this is just an example. Okay, in Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, they taught us that a retrograde planet will have a lot of stumbling effect.
Yes.
Stumbles. That kind of thing.
In Kerala, people say retrogression planets are very forceful and beneficial. I don't know what is that. Do you think so? They say retrogression.
It depends. Say, say Venus was placed here. It is a 6th lord. Say Saturn retrograde, it wants to go closer to her friend.
Okay, then the maleficiousness is decreased.
So then it depends. No, the maleficence is decreased, yes, because it wants to be with its friend, you see.
Yes.
Yeah, you need to look at all that. Say a planet is very close to the sun and it's retrograde. Okay, it's coming towards the sun. Then it's bad. If it's moving away from the sun, then it's good. So you need to look at the positioning.
That's true.
Okay. Next, planets combustion, planet retrograde, planets in Lagna Rashi. Okay. Any planet placed towards the end of a sign or at the very early of a sign is bad. Okay. You know that each sign is divided into like what the young age, the adolescence, the
Yes,
old
yes.
age, the Maraka age, that
Mm-hmm.
thing. So every odd even signs have a difference. So I usually, you don't need to go too detailed, but as long as you know that it's in the very age of a sign, then it's not so good, not so strong.
Okay.
It's either very
Okay.
young, it's either very old. So that's the Rashi Sandhi. I think you have heard about it, right?
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
do I have it here? Yeah, can you see the avastas?
Our
Very old,
Deeptavastha, Lajjavastha,
very old, very young. All these things.
Balavastha,
Yeah, yeah.
Vruddhavastha.
Yes, correct. Bala avastha.
Mm.
Yuva. I think there's one that's
Yuvavastha.
yeah. So all these things is that comes into play. Okay. Then, of course, ascendant degrees, Baba Madhya has to be taken into consideration. So, what else? Conjunction of planets. Again, planet home alone is, of course, it will give its indication. But say now I put Jupiter here. So, their effects will come into play. So, it's like, this person can have his marriage giving him income. That means his marriage is Labhasthana. His ninth house is also connected to the seventh. You understand? So what does it mean? The seventh is the house of spouse. The ninth is the house of father. Maybe the father and daughter-in-law, very good connection. Something like that. The father introduced the spouse to him, and then the father is beneficial. The spouse is beneficial to him. The seventh house, the house of long distance. It's a house of traveling. The ninth house is long distance traveling. So in the dasha antardasha of Jupiter Saturn, or Jupiter dasha Saturn antardasha, this person could be involved in traveling. There's many things to how you can analyze the horoscope.
Okay.
Then we look at Subhakatri Yoga, Papakatri Yoga. So what is Subhakatri Yoga? So Jupiter placed here, and then say Saturn and Mars placed here. So it's like a Papakatri Yoga. Jupiter is like under a lot of stress. Or if it's placed here, then that's why it's important to look at the degrees. So maybe Saturn is at like 10 degrees, Jupiter 9 degrees, Mars 8 degrees. So it's actually a Papakatri Yoga. Okay. So Papakatri means cutting.
Yes, scissors.
Yeah, scissors. So it's the problem. Subhakatri is very good. All friends together in one house, that house will prosper. That kind of. Then you have Maha Panchapurusha Yogas. That one, so Saturn.
From Lagna, Saturn is either exalted or
exalted,
sign.
in the Kendra. Okay. So that you have Sasha Yoga, yeah, all these things you have. So Maha Panchapurusha Yogas should be considered also.
Okay.
What else? So, the Gajageshri Yoga is Jupiter Moon conjunction. Viparita Raja Yoga. Okay, so Viparita Raja Yoga is a bit different. So, remember I told you 1, 4, 7, 10 connected to 1, 5, 9 is very good. But 6, 8, 12, they should not be connected. Okay, 1, 5, 5th lord should not go to 6, 8, and 12, that kind of thing. But within the 6, 8, 12, they are connected to one another, it's good. So, example, Saturn, the 8th lord in the 6th is still good. Why? Because 8th lord is like a Dushtasthana sitting in another Dushtasthana. So it's like a cancellation. But we have to look at what Parashara has to say. Parashara says that, for example, so this is lords in houses. So 6th lord in the 8th house. Okay, the native will be sickly. So you see, Parashara is saying 6th lord, 8th house is bad actually. Can you see?
I can see
my
yes, I can see
my Excel file. So then this is where the difference comes in. But generally, they say 6th lord, 8th house is still better compared to 6th lord placed in the 7th. That kind of. Okay, conjunction of planets, aspects of planets. This is very, very important. Jupiter's aspect. So if someone has Jupiter in the 11th, aspecting the 5th house, the Mars, so childbirth is almost confirmed. You should be getting your childbirth, no issue about that. So Jupiter is a Putra Karagan himself. He is looking at the Mars, so it's good. Jupiter's aspect is generally taken very positive.
Yeah.
But then again, you look at the ownership of Jupiter. Jupiter is the 6th and 9th lord, so he's looking at the Mars. So is there a problem? That needs to be analyzed also.
Okay.
And so I'm just going through very fast because there's so many things.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Punarva Yoga. Punarva Yoga is Saturn Moon combination. Usually Punarva Yoga, some form of sadness will be there throughout the life. So I know of a person.
Depression.
Not say depression. Some or in Tamil they say yedo or kora. That means some problem will be there throughout life that will always be disturbing. So I know of a person who has a Punarva Yoga, and so I asked him, is there a particular sadness in your life? Then he said, yeah, it's his first love. He loved a girl, and his parents didn't accept, and it's a Punarva Yoga. Then Buddha Aditya Yoga, that one is very straightforward. Sun and Mercury. Almost every horoscope you have Buddha Aditya Yoga actually.
Yeah.
Because the Sun and
it's
Mercury,
a very common yoga.
Sun and Mercury is always very close to each other. So planets in war, so same degree. Then the latitude is different. That's planetary war. Okay. Usually it's the higher planetary latitude wins the war. And there's also a difference in this. Some people consider the lower. I consider the higher one that wins the war.
Okay.
Okay. How about yourself?
I didn't get you. Please come again.
Like how about yourself? What, like planetary war? Which one do you think it's high in degree that causes the problem? Is it
in my horoscope?
Like no, not in your horoscope. Planetary war. Planets the same longitude. Which one wins the war?
The lowest one. The planet with the lowest degree.
The lowest degree. Okay. So yeah, you see, there's a difference. Some people consider the higher latitude the wins the war. So
the lowest planet with the lowest degree.
Yeah.
Will win the war.
But how about the same degree, same longitude?
Same longitude. Then we need to look at the seconds.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. Is according to Parashara, the planet cannot come into same longitude, right? But according to B.V. Raman, the planets can come in the same longitude.
Longitude, yes. So then you need to look at the degrees. So planetary war is quite a subjective concept because a lot of people have different opinions about it.
But then still, if the degrees are very much visibly very different, then the planet with the lowest degree will be winning.
Yeah. So there's a difference. I mean, there's a difference of opinion. But yeah,
that's true.
I think based on our individual experiences, we will be able to better explain that. Then you have Kendradhipati dosha. Kendradhipati dosha is basically, for example, for Dhanisha Lagna person, say
Jupiter being in Kendra.
No, Mercury is the
Mercury. Okay, Mercury.
Kendradhipati dosha. So
that is also a very questionable dosha. Like that is also debatable.
Debatable,
right?
Yes, because it's a natural benefit owing to Kendras becomes a natural malefic. I mean, it moves towards the malefic side. So it's Kendradhipati.
It all depends upon. See, chart to chart, it varies, I guess.
Yeah, it varies. It depends on their position placements also. Okay. Then Badhaga Sthanas. Okay. Badhaga Sthanas. So what is Badhaga Sthanas? Say for a movable sign, for a movable sign, the 11th house is the house of Badhaga Sthana. So Mercury is bad. So a fixed sign, the 9th house is the bad, the villain. For a cardinal sign, the 7th is bad, that kind of thing. So probably that's why Mercury and Jupiter has like
Kendradipati dosha.
Yeah, Kendradipati dosha with each other when they are the Lagna. So Dasha Lagna, Miduna becomes bad. For Kandi Lagna, Meenam becomes bad, that kind of thing. Okay, so yeah, this is the thing. So dual signs is also known as cardinal signs. Okay. Benefics, yeah, natural benefics, they form the Kendradipati dosha. It's the same thing.
Okay.
So yeah, then planets in war, constellation, the nakshatra.
Constellations.
Are they in the friends nakshatra? Are they exchange of houses? Parivartana. Parivartana between good house is good. Parivartana between 9th and 10th is good. Okay. Parivartana between 9th and say 5 is good. But Parivartana between 6th and 7th is not good.
Okay.
I've seen people who have 7th, 6th, Parivartana, divorce, married again, divorce, married again, divorce, second time divorce.
I know a person, an Indian, who married 5 times. Yeah. 5 times he got married. Yeah. And all the 5 marriages were divorces. Parivartana
is also very important. Then Bhavat Bhavam.
Bhavat Bhavam.
Bhavat Bhavam. So for example, what is Bhavat Bhavam?
Because the
Bhavat Bhavam is good. Okay. So yeah. So
the Bhavat Bhavam of 4th house is 7th house.
Yeah, Bhavat
7th house is the
you
first
count
house.
From 1, 2, 3, 4. You count again 1, 2, 3, 4. So Venus in the 7th. So it's very good. So yep, I think I covered almost everything that I wanted to cover today. But of course, astrology is definitely a learning journey. We still need to look at many other things before we come to a conclusion. That's true. But this is generally you see, there's also transit analysis.
Transit's also important.
Yeah, so that also has to be taken into consideration. Okay.
So yeah, so I would like to say the audiences, I know this is a very long lecture, but this is very good for those people who want to be astrologers, who are learning astrology. In astrology class also, we sit for 2-3 hours for such classes, and I'm sure if you go through the entire class, you will learn a lot of great things which been taught by our Gurujis. For Dinesh, he has learned a lot from Sri E.K. Dilip Kumar. For both of us, Guruji Sri K.N. Raoji has taught a lot of great things. So you can see the reflection of all those classes in this video. Thank you, Dinesh, for these great classes. Thank you for your effort. Please come back to our channel again. We all are waiting for you, and bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, wait, let me. Thank you. Let's stop.
Yeah. Stop.